What's up, everybody? It's week 7, and I just want to welcome you here today. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. Hopefully you've had a great week as well. And I'm just excited to be here with you today. Today is a fun game that you got to just experience with the footballs. And I think there's one thing we can probably all agree on, and that is that a football was not made to go inside a basketball hoop, right? Can we all agree on that? I mean, it can go, right? It fits. There's a way to get it in there. Maybe one of you guys were able to actually throw it in the hoop, which was awesome, right? But it wasn't made for a hoop. You see, it was made to hand off. It was made to throw, right? If you had a football, it's made to throw with each other and have fun in any way that football is played, right? But it wasn't made to go through a hoop. Not that it can. It just wasn't made for that. It wasn't created for that. It's almost awkward to fit into a hoop, right? And then you have a nice round basketball, and it bounces, and it's made to hit off the backboard. It's made to go into the hoop. You don't have to worry about it getting an awkward bounce and bouncing somewhere and having to chase it down like you would a football, right? So a basketball, its purpose was made to go into a hoop, right? Or to be played with differently than, say, a football is, right? The shape of the ball just itself was created differently, uniquely, for a completely different purpose. So the question I want to ask you guys today during this devotional time is, what were you made for? Think about that real quick. What are you made for? Okay, you see, we have a scripture that goes along with this today. It's out of Psalm chapter 139. I want you to listen to these words, okay? This is very important. Okay, it says this. It says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in a secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Now, that's a lot of words. I understand that. Maybe I lost you there. But basically what's that saying is you were made perfectly in God's eyes. He has created you exactly how he wants you to be. Now, some of you maybe come here and you don't like the way you are. Maybe you don't like the way you look. Maybe you don't like the stuff that you're good at. Maybe you focus so much time of your life on things that you're not good at. I want you to flip that around, and I want you to think about all of those things that you are good at. Think about all the talents God's given you. Think about all the giftings that God has given you uniquely to you, right? It's crazy to me to think about our purpose on this earth because we've said it before. God knows how many hairs are on your body. That's crazy, right? Or even just on your head. How many hairs? That's nuts to me. That's just one little thing, right? He knows. The scripture says he knew you before you were born, right? Like, that's crazy to me that when I was in my mother's womb, like, God already was planning out my life, like what he saw it was gonna look like, right? That's crazy, but that's the God that we serve. That's how big and how wonderful this is. So when it says, I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, that's talking about us, right? You were made uniquely and specially by God. He formed you into the person he wants you to be, and he's given you these giftings and talents. And so the question that is kind of a tough one that we need to talk about today is, how are you using these talents? Some of you maybe are good at stuff that's seen, right? You are the outspoken person. You've got that personality that's bubbly. Like, you like being around people. Like, maybe you get energy when you're around people, right? And you're able to you're just gifted in the area of being around people and being seen, right? Maybe that's some of you. Then there's the other group of people that maybe your giftings and talents are more of the unseen stuff. You're the behind-the-scenes person that nobody necessarily notices, but you're just as important as that one that's seen, right? It takes all of us working together for things to work out smoothly. And that's what's so beautiful about this world that God created, is he created each and every one of us as individuals with these special giftings and unique abilities and unique personalities, all to be so interdependent, I guess, by an individual self, but then also working together, and that's how the church comes together. So my question that I want to leave you guys with today is this. Are you using your gifts? Are you using your talents, the thing that God has purposely made you good at? Are you using those for the Lord? Right? If you know me at all, you've heard my story probably about God has given me giftings in basketball, right? And I'm not saying that as a bragging thing by any means, but God's given me giftings and ability in basketball, and I hope and pray that I'm doing everything within my ability to use those giftings and those talents for the Lord. That's part of the reason why I'm so proud to have this Upward basketball and so excited each week to share with you guys these halftimes, because I know that I can't do this in a normal city league, right? Like, this is a specific league, especially designed by our church here, so that we can have this ability. I'm hoping that by us and you being a part of Upward, you're seeing that this is me trying to use my gifts for the Lord. And this is not just about me. I understand that there's so many volunteers and people involved in this, but this is just one small example of me using something that I know God gave me and giving that back to Him. So I want you to think for a moment, close your eyes with me, and think about your best gifting. Think about something that God has blessed you with, something, a talent maybe that you know you have. And I want you to honestly ask, am I using that for the Lord? And if not, I pray that you'll start to find areas, maybe in a church or in a community, find somewhere that you can plug in and start to use those talents and those gifts that God's given you. You got to remember, He gave you those. It's not like you earned that on your own, right? He's given you this ability. He's given you these talents, and it's just our job to give that back to Him in service, to love on people, to serve people by using these unique abilities that God's given us. So hopefully you can take something with that today, but think about something that God blessed you with and ask yourself, how can I use that better in return for Him? Hope you guys have a great second half, and I'll see you guys next week for our last week. Have a good one, guys.